Hey, how's everybody doing? Hey, Tommy, thanks for being here. Sal, thanks for joining us today. Like I said, I'm actually out here in the LA area visiting some family, but I did have a little bit of downtime. So when you're out here, you try to take advantage of as much as you can. So um, I've heard a lot of stuff, a lot of good stuff about this store that I'm going to tour today. I know a lot of people on Instagram are always talking it up, and I had to come and see for myself. I couldn't miss the opportunity of being here so close um, to the area and not visit the store. I've already walked in there. I already spoke to the owner, Peter, and he kind of gave me a quick rundown. Apparently, this is the new site that they moved to. Previously, they used to be at a different location, but now they moved out here. I'll go ahead and post. I'll add it to the comments. The address in case you guys are up in the LA area and you're interested in coming and checking it out. Unfortunately, I'm on my phone, so you are going to get the smaller screen on it because for some reason I haven't been able to figure out how to rotate the screen on this thing without me going sideways. Mandy, thank you for being here today. Mark, how you doing, Mark? Yeah, I'm like I said, I'm gonna go in here and take a look at the store. I'm telling you what, for everything that I've heard, and actually walking through the store just a few minutes ago, it's pretty impressive. It's quite up there with some of the other stores that I've seen. And it's pretty awesome. I know you guys up there in Houston are spoiled with 360 Aquatics. Well, I'll tell you what, this will hold a candle to 360 Aquatics. It's a really nice store. So without any further delays, let me go ahead and turn the camera around, and I'll show you where we're at. Let me see. Go to settings, camera. Let's go to the back facing. All right. As you guys can see, that's the entrance to the store. Um, we're at CK Fish World, and it's a little bit busy inside, so I got to be real careful when I start filming. Make sure that some people do not like to be on camera, so I got to be respectful of that. But let's take a walk in here and show you guys what they got. From what I understand, they carry a little bit of reptiles. They have a little bit of saltwater, but they're specialized mostly in freshwater and doing escape tanks for aquascaping. And as we come in, this is obviously the main entrance. Off over here to the left, we have where they keep a lot of the fish, and they have them broken down by aisles, and we'll go ahead and look at that. They have some of the displays right here. And then this side of the store on the right side is mostly where they keep a lot of their equipment, a lot of their hardscape, everything else that goes along with the hobby. So we'll go ahead and do a quick walkthrough to where they have a lot of the equipment, and just kind of, it's going to be impossible for me to do a step-by-step of everything else that's in here. They have quite a bit of equipment. You're going to see stuff, by UNS, because that seems to be the company that they really work with the most when it comes to aquariums and equipment and stuff like that. So that's usually the brand that they're associated with. In here we have some, it looks like some submersible pumps. We've got all kinds of different pumps, DC pumps for saltwater and freshwater. Seal Shea seems to be a brand that they're carrying. They have their Aquascape soils on the bottom. So as we're looking through here, they have some of the lighting, the different type of lighting that they carry in here for both saltwater and freshwater. They have a little bit of the hardscape, artificial rocks, your traditional, beginner tank kind of stuff where you're looking for some of the ceramics and the resin stuff for decorating your aquariums. These are typically what we usually start off with before we really start getting into a lot of the hardscape and the natural stuff. But it's for a store, you have to have a little bit of everything for everybody. They have some of these artificial corals, beautifully, bright colored. They have some of the rock. We'll see if they have some light rock. I'm not sure about that. They got a pretty good selection of some plants, the plastic plants and all that stuff. Again, a lot of this stuff, it's either for cichlid keepers or a lot of the beginners that are kind of intimidated by keeping some of the natural plants. They have a selection of food here. Um, they have some saltwater stuff, your typical basic brine shrimp hatcheries. It's what you would expect to see at any good fish store. You're going to see some of the typical products you see there. And let me see. Let me try to be a little bit better when it comes to watching the comments. Yeah, Mandy. Like I said, I've been to that store. I was very fortunate. Steve took me to go see 360 Aquatics, and it's a hell of a store. This one is just as good, if not better. They got some tubing down here that you can buy to order. Over here around this corner, they have their Sarah, all the Sarah foods, Danderland, shrimp products. Let me see. Let me walk back a little bit because there's some people here. I don't know if they want to be in camera. Here we can see where they've actually turned out. Well, let's look at some of these Aquascape tanks. They have a blackwater tank that is just gorgeous. They got some buse in there. They have some mosses. It looks like they have some pencil fish in here. They have some guppies. Very nice. This one is really neat. This paludarium. Really like the way they set up the stone work on this. We've got some of the plants. As far as the livestock, we can see that they have some Neocaridina shrimp. Let's see. And over here, this one is mostly mosses. They've kind of gone with a bunch of different mosses and hair grass. It looks like a little mountain. This one's pretty neat. So let's go around this way now that the aisle's kind of cleared up. Obviously, you have all your chemical products in here. The typical brands you're going to see at most of these stores. You have stuff for reef tanks. On this side, you have a lot of your flourish products. I mean, you got Fritz. Obviously, they're going to be carrying the major brands, and you have aquascaping tools. I mean, if you can't find it here, then it probably doesn't exist. It's kind of one of these stores where you're just going to find everything you want to find. I mean, they got heaters. They have stuff for skimmers. I mean, whatever brand you're looking for, seems like they carry it. I'm not too familiar with a lot of the saltwater, so I don't speak too much on that. In here, they have their whole UNS section, big old CO2 tanks. You can tell those are for some really, really big projects. Your maintenance equipment. I'm telling you, there's just so much stuff here. You could find just about anything that you're looking for. They even have pond filters for those of you that are running ponds. He was talking about, Peter, the owner of the store, was thinking that he wanted to keep more of an open concept, but because of the demand for product, he's managed to fill in, I think he said it was like 1,500 square feet, and it's pretty stuff. There's a lot of stuff going on here, a lot of things to be able to see and get. Here you see some of their tanks that are set up with some stands. They have some pretty interesting sizes. I like a lot of these. They're rimless. These are the ones that I like the most because they tend to have a deeper, they're a little bit deeper than your traditional aquarium, so it gives you a little bit more of an option for scaping and stuff like that. So these are really neat. Let me see. Let me back up a little bit. They got the sump systems for your reefs or your regular sumps that you're running. You can see the hallway that goes all the way down. They have all the hardscape back there. Let's see what else they got in here. There's just so much to see. It looks like they sell if you're trying to make your own glass tops, they'll sell you the pieces where the inserts where you can put the glasses in there, and you can custom cut them to the size that you need for your aquariums. That's pretty interesting. I hadn't seen that before. So you can hinge them like that. Obviously, you got to have the big filters, the Fuval stuff. But the aquariums is what I'm really fascinated with. These These rimless tanks are really, really nice. Um, then they have a little bit of the stuff over here for the reptiles. They have your traditional aquariums, of course. Um, I guess they're working with Vizio for their aquariums. Let's see, they have the terrariums for the reptiles. Let's go walk around here a little bit more and see what they have. Oops, sorry, gentlemen. They have, well, we'll go back to that. Sorry about that. If I'm making you guys dizzy, I'm sorry. What I'm trying to do is not put the camera in front of people's faces because most people don't appreciate that. In here, they have more equipment. They have some of these little bonsai roots that you can, you know, obviously attach different mosses to them and be able to make some nice little trees. They have some stonework that's already been put together. If you don't want to use time to try to create a figurine, they've already got those here done that are prefabricated for you. Here's more of the rimless aquariums. This is a real interesting setup because it's the aquarium that's rimless, but then the shelves are also glass, so it kind of gives you the impression like if the tank was floating. So I've never seen anything like that. That's the first time I see a setup like that. Here's another one that's set up exactly the same way. That's kind of neat. This little aquarium here, this is a little frag tank, but I like these for Shelleys. They're like the perfect tank. It's not a 50-gallon lowboy. This is a lot smaller, and it's got its own internal filtration system. So, but it must be no more than 4 or 5. Let's see. Oh, 6 inches tall. So this would be a great shell dweller tank. Let's see. You got some more of the nano tanks up here. You have this humongous rimless tank that's sitting right here, and it's already been sold. This looks like a 6-footer. Let's see. It's 180 gallons. Comes with the stand and everything. So this is this is for some serious aquascaping. That glass is like an inch thick on the top. Beautiful, beautiful aquarium. You know, they have some nano aquariums over here, just a couple of gallons. Probably great for neocaradinas or caridinas. Let's see, over here they have the Hardscape. You have your, you know, all the stones that you're, excuse me, sorry, you're going to find associated with aquascaping. This one looks like it's Icelandic lava rock. They have some dragon stone right in here. They call this wolf stone. This darker one in here. This almost looks like the reef rock that they put together, but that actually looks like stone. This looks like some petrified wood. Love the graininess of the rock. There you can see it almost looks like a piece of tree, but it's petrified, so it's all stone now. There's some more of the petrified wood. Some of these pieces are really interesting. You can make some real nice scapes with that. Down here they have what they call mountain stone. This one right here, it looks like sediment rock. Let's see what else they got. They have some of the manzanita wood. You cannot have hardscape and not have manzanita. There's some of the prices for those pieces. They also have, I guess, the newer one, which they call ghost wood. I thought I'd seen some earlier, but that's some of the stuff they have here. Let me go down this way, and we'll show you some of the other UNS aquariums that they have. Some of the rimless. These are a little bit more of the smaller versions of them. This is a 20-gallon, a 9-gallon, and then the 5 gallons all the way down to the 3 gallons. So, you know, they have a really good selection of equipment. We have some more stone here. This is let's see, Manton stone. Never seen this before. Let me bring it in. It's got like a purplish color. I don't know if you can pick that up on the camera. It's pretty heavy too. It looks like igneous rock. In here we have some elation wood, some pretty good sized pieces of wood. This one's kind of interesting. Um, it's we'll be here. We have more of the like roots that you can be able to use for aquascaping. Um, they sell them by the pound. You have some of your real nano shallow aquarium tanks in here. Look at this piece of stone right here. This is my hand. This is a large piece of stone. This thing is humongous. I'm not even going to try to lift this. I'll probably get a hernia trying to do that. Down in here, we got some more of that roots. In here, we have, oh, okay. This is one of those practice boxes that they had set up, where it's set up with already with some substrate, but it looks like people have used it to put their unused pieces of wood back in here. But this is kind of one of those shadow boxes that you can use to try to put together a scape and then be able to buy the product. So they have one of those tables set up in here. They have some more of the roots down in here. Here's another one, another stone, pretty big size stone right in here. Just so you guys get a little bit of an idea how big that is. More of those roots that look like bonsais. There you go. This is some of that manzanita that I was talking about. I think they call it the ghost wood. No, this is show wood. Some really large pieces in there. These are pretty interesting. It's a combination of roots and rocks that are already kind of glued together on slate, so that you can just basically drop that into an aquarium and then attach whatever plants you want to do, and it's a pretty quick aquascape. So in here, there's some more stones. This is a really neat stone right here. It's like a reddish. It's got some iron in it, I guess, because it looks pretty red. Not very heavy. Let's see, what do they call that? It doesn't have a name on there. They have these rocks, and they look like river stones, but they have quite a bit of red in them. These are kind of neat. Let's see. So under here, they have some really big pieces of rock. I mean, I can only imagine the size of the aquarium that these are going to go in. It's real interesting. I don't think I've seen boulders that big at an aquascaping store before. Usually this is more of the size that I'm used to seeing. So it's really neat to be able to see that if you're looking for a big piece of stone, you're going to be able to find it. They're going to carry that for you. Look at the size of this root. This is another one. Yeah, I'm assuming these are for like humongous tanks, like the 180s, 200s. Once you start getting into that area, they got some Mopani wood here. Let's see. So, I mean, like I was telling you guys, if you guys can't find it here, more than likely it doesn't exist. They got a bunch of shoya wood, all kinds of different sizes. Great for shrimp tanks. They like to graze on that stuff. They got some pretty big size skeletons of those cactus and the shoya wood up there. Those pieces are about 3 to 4 feet long. So, I mean, any size piece of wood that you're looking for, you're probably going to be able to find it in here. That's pretty much. Oh, let me go over here to the reptile section real quick. They have some. What I was noticing, these stands are pretty interesting because it's the natural wood, so it allows you to stain it or paint it to whatever color you want. I think this is a pretty neat feature because sometimes we're looking for a specific tone or color, and if it's already one that's been prefabricated, it's sometimes hard to find something that'll match what you're looking for, especially if you try to match the decor in your home. I think this option is very smart because it allows you to customize it for whatever you want. So this is a great option here. I don't think I've seen this before, or I just hadn't noticed it, but here they have them in just about all the sizes you need. You can get them where they're raw, the raw wood, and you can paint them to whatever you want. Peter was telling me, I guess, there's this whole section of reptiles here is relatively new to the store. It's something that they're trying to venture out into. and they're still working. They're still trying to figure out which reptiles and stuff like that they're going to keep. Um, and it sounds like they're not doing too many of the lizards, unless they're going to start going away from the lizards, unless they can get more of the tropical lizards in here. Oh, I hadn't noticed it, but there's a bunch of little frogs in here in the back. It looks like little tree frogs. These are milk frogs, to be exact. Hadn't even noticed them. There's some down there that are really nice. Some green ones, black ones. So they're going to stick more to the reptiles you can find in the tropics, because they want to keep. They do a lot of planet stuff, and that's the direction they want to go with. I don't know too much about reptiles or insects, for that matter. Shit, I don't know a whole lot about anything, anyways. But much less about this. They have some chameleons in here. They got another one in here. This little guy in here. There's two of them in there. Probably the more I look in here, the more I'll find. But there's two in there. Down in here, they got that red one that's back there. Sorry about the fan noise. Let's see. I'm going to try to get away from that fan, but just kind of want to show you. I can't figure out what's in here because I can't see it. But it says it's supposed to be another chameleon. They're veiled. Some more in here. Here's one of the lizards. A red Nigerian. So this stuff is apparently what they're going to start moving away from. I didn't actually ask them why, but a lot of it is because they want to keep this type of enclosures. They want to do more of the planet stuff. I guess bioactive. This is a little tree frog right in there. I mean, what do they call the turquoise, Arotas, bumblebee arrow frog. So I don't know if you guys can see that little guy in there. Let's see. You guys got any questions for me? Let me see, because I haven't been. They care for themselves. Okay. Happy Father's Day, Craig. All right. Well, let me do some housekeeping. Let's see. Let me start off with Tommy. Thank you for being here. Sal, Mandy, Mark, Beta Aquatics, Brandon. Thank you for being here. Adam, thank you very much. Let's see, who else? Who else do we got? And we go down, down, down. P.S. Don't forget to hit the like. Thank you very much, Mandy, for that. Let's see, we got Eddie. David, gracias por estar aquí. Estoy aquí en Los Ángeles viendo una de las tiendas de peces y reptiles. Y estoy compartiendo el directo desde la tienda. Let me see, who else is in here? Mandy, thank you for being a member for a month, Mandy. Let's see, Mark, thank you very much. John, thanks for being here. Coral, thank you for being here. LJ Shrimps, thank you very much. I know for you guys that are in the LA area, this is nothing new. I've kind of seen some of the content you guys have put out for CK Fish World, and I got a little bit of envious, and I figured out how to be here and see it for myself. Ian, thank you for being here. Let me see. There's some people here that are trying to see some stuff. I don't want to get in their way. Debbie, thank you very much. Let's see. Am I caught up? Linda, thank you. Thank you for being here. Okay, seems like I'm caught up now. All right, here's some more frogs in here. Some of the blue and black ones. I think these are dart frogs, right? I mean, that's the common name for these guys. Look at this guy in the little water bowl saying hi. Oh, and look at that one. I hadn't seen that color before. It's orange and orange and black. There seems like there's a little green one and black in there. These guys are really neat. Here's another couple. These frogs are interesting. These are Solomon Island leaf frogs. And I don't know if you can make them out, but there's two of them sitting right next to each other. Let's see, in here, albino corn snake. Not my favorite reptile, but let's see if we can hopefully not find it. Because I don't want to get the EBGBs. Let's see, there's another snake in here, it looks like. It's another milk snake. I don't know if they're still in here. I don't see them, and I'm kind of happy I don't see them. Oh, there he is, right in here. There that snake's at. He's under the substrate. And it can stay in there for all I care. Here's another carpet python in there in his little enclosure. I'm gradually working my way to get over the fear of snakes, but it's pretty real. Even standing here, knowing even though that snake's in that enclosure, I still can't help but to feel like it's gonna jump at me. And I know that's pretty bad for being a grown man and afraid of snakes, but I guess it is what it is. Here's like a bearded dragon in here. Look at this guy. Let's see. And that's pretty much it. We got some gray tree frogs. Oh, okay. He's over there. It's hard to make out, but he's like right in there. I don't know if you guys are going to be able to see him. And then they have the little green ones up there. Like right there. There's a little green one in there. This one is hard to see because of all the humidity on the glass, but they got a really nice African cichlid tank right here. Look at this guy. The only thing I don't like about this is whenever you try to film these guys, what you're seeing in person and what the camera's capturing never makes it justice. The colors on these cichlids is totally different when you see them live. They almost look fake. That's how vivid the colors are on these guys. But for some reason, the camera is never able to capture that. And I always feel like it takes away from the beauty of these fish. You know, every time I see them in person, it always makes me want to get them. And then I remember how much of a-holes they can be to each other. And then I realize that's why I don't want them. But tell you what, if you ever want to have a eye-catching aquarium, you can't go wrong with these guys right here. This is my favorite part of the store. This is all their aquascapes in here. They have a little paludarium here. I don't know if they have any livestock in it. If they do, it's pretty well camouflaged that I can't see it. Here's another one. This is more of a, this is not a paludarium because it doesn't have a whole lot of water. So I guess, but this is a real nice one too. Love this little nano aquarium here. This is from outside, but in here, looks like they have some guppy fry. But I like all the detail, all the little small pieces of dragonstone, the way they were set up makes it seem like it's a pathway going up. And it's not a very big aquarium. That might be like a 10-gallon. If that, maybe a little bit bigger than a 10-gallon. Look at this one with all the ferns in here. Really nice. You can see the entire wood coming out of the surface. To this nice little cube. They have some antlers in here. I've never seen that tetra back there. That's a new one to me. I'll have to find out what kind of tetra that was. It's a tetra rasbora. It almost looks like a red-eye tetra. It doesn't have the big wide body like a red-eye tetra. Obviously not the red eye, but kind of the same coloration. Is back in there. Let me see over here. This one. I mean, all of these tanks are just stunning. This is what hopefully one day I can strive to build something like this. These are a bunch of cherry barbs. These guys are so underrated. I mean, I don't understand why more people don't keep them. Look at the color on these guys. A little gourami in here. These are neons. They're not cardinals. I don't think. No, That's a neon. Oh, so that is a cardinal. It's got the stripe that goes all the way back. Um, you know, here's some of the horned nerite snails in there. You got a pleco back in there, bristlenose pleco. Just, a really, really nice aquarium. You got some immersed plant growing on here. You know, what more can you ask? I mean, here's another one, real simple. Just Scape was one of these shallows. I really enjoy these shallow tanks because it makes you, with very little effort, it makes you look like you're doing something very difficult. In here, they have some emperor tetras, it looks like. I don't know what this plant is. You guys that are plant savvy people, it looks like a relatively simple plant, and that seems to be predominantly what's in here. And that seems to be the main plant. And it's just one plant for the most part. And you get that jungle look on there. This one, they got one of those foggers running on top. You can see it right there. So it gives you that cool effect when you look at it from a distance. It looks pretty neat. It's something different. Looks like they have some rice fish in here, if I'm not mistaken. I think that's what that is right there. Look at Mandaka rice fish. Let's see. They got a little bit of Buse in there. It looks like some Pennyworth. Some mosses on the plants, on the branches on top. They have some immersed growth also. So, it's amazing how, simplicity can be very nice. Here's another one. It looks like they're running more crypts in this one. Well, no. I thought they were crypts, but they're not. And you can probably see in here. Oh, go right ahead. You can see that they use one of those scapes that they had where the stones are already kind of glued together, and they just kind of dropped it in there. So here's an example of what you can do with. Where are they at? Oh no, I'm too far away from them. But those that they already had set up that were on a piece of slate. So that's an idea of what you can do with something like that. Here's another UNS tank. Here's one of these other paludariums with some of that petrified wood in here. It's running a little pump waterfall system in it. Really nice. Carnivore terrarium with some carnivore plants in there. So this is pretty much the side. Here's a couple of other ones. Here's this one's kind of neat. It looks like a little pathway out in the forest somewhere. Very interesting. It's a small aquarium, not very big. Might be like a 5-gallon, maybe 10-gallon. So here you have some more of the carnivore plants. Here's another terrarium. So they have some live food for the reptiles. Some more stuff down in here. They have some of the hissing cockroaches. And I think that's about it for in there. A little bit more of the display tanks. A little nano saltwater tank that they have in here. So this is the side, like I said, where they have most of the hardware, the foods, everything else that's not necessarily livestock, with the exception of some of those reptiles on that area. So on this side of the store, as you guys can see, it's kind of like what a Walmart, I was going to say, because it's got the signs on the top that will indicate what aisles and what kind of fish they're going to be keeping. So they do have a little small section of saltwater. They carry some corals and stuff like that. And we'll go ahead and do that because it's a smaller section. Here's one of those. You got some. This kind of a cool system with the way they did the rock in here. They make it seem like there's 2 levels. It seems like the rock is floating on there, and they got all the corals growing on the top. And on the bottom, you have your livestock. Looks like a goby in there and a couple of clownfish. You got some invertebrates in there. I don't know too much about corals, so for you saltwaters, you guys can probably identify these a lot more. I just know they're corals. Here's another one that's using microalgae and macroalgae with a little goby in there, it looks like. And this is a real small tank. This has got to be maybe about 5, 6 gallon tank, maybe. But I like how these algae kind of remind me a lot of freshwater plants. So if I ever did anything with saltwater, I think this is what I would be doing, just because it reminds me so much of a freshwater tank. And you don't have to run the blue light like on these, which is probably one of the reasons why I don't find reef tanks so appealing, is that blue light. I do like this though. This is really neat. So maybe if I ever do salt, that's probably the direction I'm going to go with. Here's another one of those where they set it up where you have the corals on the top and then you have the free area for the fish to swim on the bottom. Here's some more corals. Sorry if I'm not spending a whole lot of time on these. For you guys that are reef heads, you're probably wishing I'd spend a little bit more time on it, but since I don't really understand what I'm looking at, I'm just kind of sharing it with you real quick. Although I do have to admit some of the colors that these corals do put out are pretty amazing. Even with the blue light, you can see some of those colors coming through. This stuff looks like the blob. I don't know what it is, but that's what it reminds me of. Let's see. Here's another. This looks like a 180, if not bigger, and it's one of the reef tanks. You got a bunch of corals in here. Here's where I start talking about those crazy colors you start seeing on some of these corals. Although I've heard that the only reason they display those colors is because they're stressed out. So I don't know how much of that is true, how much of it is just people hating on corals, but I don't know enough. I know enough to know that I don't know enough. Mind your way. All right, so let's go back in here. I'm almost done with all these. I guess these are what, bubble corals, because they do look like bubbles. So that's kind of pretty self-descriptive. But half of the stuff I couldn't even name. And if you told me what it was, I'd just say yes, because I wouldn't know any better. These guys are always cool. I like the ones that look like little mop heads, and they're just moving in the flow. I like those better than this stuff right here. Although these guys here seem to have the most color, but I really like with that when it looks like that type of coral. That one back there, I don't even know they're corals. I might sound like an idiot calling them corals, but yeah, that's the stuff. If I like the flow. I like, because it tells you what water. That looks like little daisies right there. Oh, what do you know? It's a daisy pull-up. So they have that. This is their frag setups in here. I don't know if I'm in this area, if I can be in here or not. So I'm going to go ahead and work my way out of here. And over here is the plant section they have for terrariums. And, they're going some of that stuff in here. They have some more in here. They got them covered to keep a lot of that humidity in there. Although the store is pretty humid right now itself. You guys can see that the area is pretty busy. That's Peter back there, the guy that's next to the guy with the yellow shirt. He's the owner of the store. Let's take a look at some of these goldfish. They look like Ryukins, some Orandas. These guys are, they're still relatively small. They got some growing to do. Oh, look, they have some salamanders or newts. You got some of these guys. For you guys that like those amphibious, these are rib newts, is what they're calling them, or that's what it says on the glass. Let me see. Store's starting to get pretty busy now. You can start seeing a lot of the traffic, which is expected for a Saturday. Let me do a quick run through because there's a lot of people here, and I know not everybody takes too kindly to having the camera stuck in front of their face, so I'm just going to do a quick Here's their saltwater section. I'm going to go through here just because there seems to be less people at the moment. I don't. Here I'm going to have to take you out of your word for it. I know clownfish. I know that. They do have the different variations of these clownfish. These guys are pretty cool. I think these guys are the ones that their eyes seem like they glow. At least that's what I've seen in there. They have a emperor angelfish. They have some gobies, I believe. No, these are blennies. Those are blennies. Let's see. They have these guys a little bit bigger in here. Oh, there was more of them. I didn't realize how many of them there were in here. I don't think there's anything in there. Looks like a fox face. Look at that guy back there. He's got the big old eyes. Almost looks like a little cartoon. Another clown in there. I hadn't seen that one back there. It almost looks like a cartoon, like I said. I don't know. There's a guy over here trying to hide out in the return. Some more fox faces. I guess some sort of tangs. This guy got the zoomies going around in circles. Oh, a little puffer. I think that's a dogfish puffer. Is that what that is? It doesn't say on there, but I think that's what it is. Could be wrong. More clownfish. Yeah, here I'm totally out of my element when it comes to the saltwater fish. I got to read what it says on the tank, and this is some of the names, but I know enough to know that not everything that's named on here is necessarily in this aquarium. You got some more clownfish. Now you have some of the brackish stuff. I think these are like, I thought these were like scats, but I guess not. Well, there goes how much I know about saltwater. Seems like these are just a little bit bigger size fish. This guy's kind of neat. I've never seen anything like him. Don't have any idea what he is. But he's a really nice looking fish. More clowns. Different variations on those clowns. Coloration on those guys is pretty cool. I guess I know these guys get like humongous. I think it's a grouper, if I'm not mistaken. Look at this guy. This guy is really neat. I don't know what he is, but that's a really cool looking fish. He doesn't like me having the camera on. And I think that's a triggerfish. Is that a trigger? Yeah, I think it is a triggerfish. Oh, here's the guys with the big eyes. These guys look like little, like if you're going to draw a cartoon of a fish, that's what these guys remind me of. They look like little cartoons because of the exaggerated eyes. Here's some other. Oh, okay. Those I know because of Finding Nemo. That's Doris. No, I know it's not Doris, but that's what they become. Look at these guys. The colors on these guys. Sorry about the fan, but I thought that was kind of cool how fluorescent the colors are. Here's this. This guy's pretty cool. I don't know what he is, but he's got black and iridescent blue in him. Really neat looking fish. Doesn't like me having the camera in front of him though. So I guess. Oh, these are chromis. I know those. Look at these elongated ones. They look like little eels. I don't know what they are, but those are kind of cool. I don't think I've ever seen those before. It's hard for me to say because the only thing that it mentions in here is the clownfish. None of the other fish are named in this aquarium. So maybe some of you guys know what they are. We got some other clownfish. So as you can see, the selection here of fish. Oh, look, this is cool. Little eels. This is a snowflake eel. It's interesting because usually they'll have a hiding place for these guys. It's a PVC or something, but these guys are just in the aquarium by themselves. Let's see. More clownfish. It seems like clownfish is predominantly the species that they keep for these saltwater. I guess they're the most popular saltwater beginner fish, I guess. The Oscularis clownfish, just in different variations of colorations. So that's the saltwater. Now we're going to go into the cichlid side. Take advantage of the fact that it's a little empty. Let's start up here. They have some arowanas. We've got some arowanas in there, some flower horns. These guys are pretty small. In comparison to my hand, these guys are tiny. They're pretty active and attentive. Look at them. Yep, that's what you want to see with these guys. There's another one in here. More in there. They got quite the selection. Some more arowanas, a little bit bigger. In here, some Cuban cichlids. I don't know if there's a tinge to it. I don't know if it's black water or it's medicated, but there's some of those Cuban cichlids. They got some kois in here. Pretty good sized pleco in there. Let's see, this one's empty. Some sebrums. Some knife fish in here with some, looks like danios. Dadios, that's what they are. Datnoids. Okay, you learn how to read. You got some koi, some koi in there. Looks like a fire mouse. Not very colored up. Might be nesting. Might be sitting on eggs because they got a big old hole back there. Let's see here. So we have some convict cichlids. These guys are bulletproof, and I can tell you that from experience. One of these guys is splashing at me. Some puffers. Oh, shoot. I skipped the whole row. Wait a minute. Well, we saw the knives. June, if you're here, these are for you. Got a bunch of Oscars. Like half beaks. No, these are barracudas. That's cool. These guys are cool. I don't know how big they get though. Oh, they can get up to 12 inches. Nice. Interesting that they're barracuda, but they're considered peaceful as far as their temperament is considered. Okay. All right, some more cichlids, some red tiger, monotaginus. I don't know. Butchered that probably. Blue polar, some sebrums, green tears. Your typical cichlids. Some parrots. Let's see. Am I missing anything else? Some more Oscars down there. They have a bichir, or no? Yeah, it's an albino. They got quite a few of them. Bichir, Bashir, biker, whatever you want to call them. They have them. They have them. All right, so you got some more kois over here. Let's see, anything interesting? They got some African cichlids. Oh, you know, for these trophies, God, I wish they would stay. The coloration would stay like this. These guys, unfortunately, as they get older, their coloration changes. But when they're that small, the dubais are probably some of the neatest looking fish. I just wish they would stay like that, but they don't. They'll become like half and half colored. Uh, Here's some more Africans. No, these are trophies. Some fungi. Coloration on these is really neat. Let's see, anything out of the ordinary. So I know this is kind of long. More Africans, more Africans. Nothing we don't normally see. Some Bichardies. Yeah, nothing out of the ordinary. Let's go over here to the Garamis. This is a little interesting painted rock aquarium with those red stones. Some ember tetras and a bunch of dwarf hairgrass. Kind of cool. Let's see, they got some rice here, some madacas. Looks like some peacock legends. Let's see what else. Some electric blue acaras. More rice fish. Pygmy cories. These guys look like red tail rainbow shark fish. Panda cories. Rice fish. They're so popular right now. They have quite a selection of them. They have some albino white cloud minnows. So since they do specialize in a lot of hardscape, aquascaping stuff like that, they're going to carry a lot of the nano fish in here. More white clouds. Oh, long fin leopard Daniels. Those are pretty cool. They're not as common. Let's see, electric blue Jack Dempsey's. Yeah, it's starting to get a little bit busy. I don't know if I'm going to finish recording all of this. I don't want to get in people's way. If I see anything that really stands out, I'll probably stop by it. But most of the stuff is a lot of the stuff you'll find in most aquarium stores. They do have the Denison barbs. Those are pretty neat. Oops, sorry. All right, let's keep moving. It's starting to get pretty busy in here. Look at these guys. That's an interesting little eel. Oh, it's a tire track eel, but it's real small. Okay. I was just seeing them pretty good size. All right, so in here they have some of the Betas tetras. I'm going to go a little bit quicker now just because the store's starting to get real busy. The last thing I want to do is be in people's ways. So I'm just going to be panning through these real quick. Oh, the silver tip tetras, those are some of my favorite. Sorry, sir. Yeah. They got some guppies, some platies, more guppies, some tetras, the Betarac. Oh, this is kind of cool. They got some of their little lobsters in here. These I hadn't really seen much at the store. So that's pretty cool. Some more female bettas, more platies. Nothing nothing uncommon. Well, these I haven't seen. These are blue phantom. Oh no, that's the plecos, but I don't see the rainbow gobies in here. All right, moving through. They got some dwarf neon All right, guys. Sorry about that. Because my wife is done shopping and wants me to go pick her up. All right, guys. So that's pretty much. I mean, there isn't a whole lot that I haven't seen before. Their plant selection. Let me go through that real quick. They have some swords. They have some stem plants. I mean, as far as plants is concerned, they do have quite the selection. A lot of crypts, some pennywork. I mean, if you're going to escape a tank, they got everything you're going to need to do it. Prices are pretty typical pricing for plants, aquatic plants, nothing either too cheap or too expensive. So they're pretty much the same with the market. They got some pretty good sized angelfish in here. Some discus. And then over here they have some buse tanks with shrimp. This is their shrimp area. So that's pretty much the gist of the store. As you guys can see, there's quite a bit to see, even though I kind of raced right through it. Shit, I've been here for almost an hour now. And as you guys can see, there's quite a bit to see, quite a bit to do. So let me. All right. So again, this is CK Fish World. They're out here in West Covina. Yeah, I'm sweating because it is kind of warm. They're running a lot of fans right now. I guess the AC seems to be down. But if you happen to find yourself in the LA area and you want to come and check out a pretty cool fish store, you know, make sure you come and give them a visit. It's not too far out of the way. It's worthwhile. Yeah, El Jefe, yeah, she's the one that called on the other line. El Jefe's at the vault too, so I gotta go. I better hurry up and get over there, or else I won't have any money to buy some fish. Well, anyways, I just kind of want to thank you guys for joining me today. Hopefully, you guys enjoyed the tour of the store, and yeah, thank you, Coral, for dropping down the link for them. And you know, we'll see you guys pretty soon. And you guys take care, and thank you for your time. I'll see you guys later. Bye bye.